Hi friends, it's Jess with Our Bipolar. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, a little bit about me. I have bipolar 1. I was diagnosed about 24 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. And today we're here with a brand new video, and it's one of my bipolar guides, and it's on how I handle the holidays. So before we jump right into that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. Also, like the video if you do like it, and comment. I try to reply to all the comments. So let's go right into it. Now, I know holidays can be a fun time. They can also be a really stressful and lonely time for some of us. And as you know, with bipolar, stress tends to bring on bipolar symptoms, mania or depression. This time of year, a lot of people do deal with the seasonal depression, so more the depression side of bipolar, but mania is always a possibility as well. I know I've gone into mania this time of year too. And sometimes it's because of the holidays. Now, in my household, we celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Those are the holidays we're going to be talking about most. But I think these tips can pretty much apply to any religion, anybody going through the holiday time of year. So we're first going to talk about the things that I just say no to, like get the negative stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about the stuff that I just say yes to. And there's many more things in the yes column. So first and foremost, I just say no to overextending myself. That means like attending events, holiday parties, doing too much baking and cooking and getting ready for parties, just trying to do all the things. I really try to kind of do what I can and not overdo it. Next, I really try to avoid overbuying and just buying more presents than I can afford this time of year. I also say no to alcohol. This is something I've chosen to not do anymore. I didn't have a problem with alcohol, but when I did drink, it would affect my sleep and it would just make me feel really tired. I also just say no to competition. Like, I try not to compare myself to what others are doing, especially this time of year. I see my neighbors all have their holiday lights up already, and we don't have them up yet. We don't have our Christmas tree yet. Things like that. I try to just realize we're doing in my family what we can and what's best for us, and just let everybody else do what they want to do. I also just say no to toxic relatives or just toxic people in general. I know in my case, I have a family member who is now an ex-family member because of many things that have happened over the years. This is the type of person that if I am around them, I will have bipolar symptoms. Like, it's going to happen. So I have chosen to remove this person from my life, and it's been, gosh, a good decade since I've made this boundary. And so I make those boundaries and I make sure I stick with them even during the holidays. Also, I've never had to do this, but I would say no to attending like a holiday event altogether if I had to. I've never come to that, but it has been close at times. All right, so now let's get into the things I just say yes to. First, I just say yes to drugs. Yes, this goes against the slogan from the 80s, but I definitely say yes to taking my medication every night, every day, and keeping on top of that. I also say yes to if I need a little extra. I do have permission from my psychiatrist to take extra Seroquel, which is an antipsychotic, if I'm starting to feel a bit heightened or closer to hypomania. So I say yes to drugs. I also, along those lines, I say yes to my normal routine, which includes, eating right, sleep, getting all the sleep I need, exercise. I mean, I say these things and I had cookies for breakfast today. And I give myself that grace. I know that this time of year I am going to stray a little bit, especially in terms of eating, but I give myself that grace to know that I'm going to do that and it's okay as long as I don't stray too far. I also just say yes to cutting corners. I'll give you an example. So we have always for Christmas dinner gotten a ham, and it's the type of thing where it's not pre-cut. And my husband would have to cut it and he would struggle with it. And it was just kind of stressful for everyone. So this year we're getting a pre-sliced ham instead. I'm just not doing it. And I don't want anyone else to have extra stress either. I also just say yes to delegating. So this year that means instead of me making all the Christmas cookies like I've done every year, I am delegating some of those cookies to my mom and she's making them. And my daughter's actually helping her make them, which is something nice between them that they can do. Also, I delegate out the grocery shopping. I really don't like grocery shopping any time of year, but this time of year, the stores are packed and I allow my husband to do that for me. I also just say yes to online shopping. Another way I don't have to deal with crowds, and I try to do it early, or at least do a bulk of it early. Another thing I say yes to is accepting help. I allow my parents to take my daughter to Christmas events, to go see Santa, and I also accept help even if I have to pay for it, like having a cleaning service come, so I don't have to go through the entire house and clean before having people over because I host on Christmas Day. So this one I'm not great at, but I just say yes to being organized this time of year. So I will make a list, people I need to buy for, and check things off as I do that. And I also will make a list like for dinner, Christmas dinner for food, we need to purchase, things like that. I hate feeling like I have to make a list, but this time of year it's worth it. I also just say yes to Christmas cards with a huge caveat. I don't do this every year, but I do it sporadically, and I'll tell you why. I love receiving Christmas cards, and the more you send them, the more you get them. Also, I like to give a little update once in a while of what's going on in our family. Now, I don't write the whole, Christmas note, or I can't think of what it's called, but we don't do that, but just including a picture, people can see how old our daughter has gotten, things like that. So I do that once in a while, and it does help me feel more connected, especially to some people that I don't see very much. I also say yes to pacing myself. Now, to be honest, cutting things out entirely works better for me than pacing myself, but if I have to, I will just pace myself, which means, I don't try to cram everything into one weekend before Christmas. Like if we have to go and get a Christmas tree, and we also have to decorate, and we also want to go see Santa, we want to go, these are all spread out, over the whole month. So for an actual event or party, like Christmas Day or Thanksgiving, I will allow myself to take breaks. I find that the bathroom is a good place to take a break, especially one that isn't like the communal bathroom for the event. If you have time to get outside and go for a walk, that's great too, but I don't usually have the time to do that. And I also will phone a friend or text a friend and just have a way of a mental break. Another thing I think is really important that I say yes to is keeping in mind, just going into the event that you're having, knowing that not everything's going to go perfectly. Things are going to go wrong. Maybe someone gets drunk at the event, or no one gets drunk, but someone is acting like an asshole. Or maybe you say something that you didn't intend to be rude, but comes off as rude, and then you feel really bad and you're ruminating it over it. I mean, these things happen, and you kind of have to just know something might happen and go into it thinking that. Finally, I just say yes to chosen family. And that means family, like family who are blood, who I really enjoy and want to be around. And that also includes friends who have become family. I definitely have some of those. And those are the people I want to surround myself with. And I do not, like I've said, I do not surround myself with people who are really going to be toxic to me or cause me to have bipolar symptoms. Okay, so these are the things that I do to get through the holidays without having bipolar symptoms, But I'm going to be honest, I do have bipolar symptoms sometimes, despite doing all of these things. Like I said, sometimes I've had hypomania, sometimes I've had depression this time of year. And all you can do is try as hard as you can to avoid those symptoms. Now, I know for a fact that I've left things out, and please tell me in the comments the things that you do to get through the holidays. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.